Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Villa Vrindavan, Italy, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast that makes ancient wisdom relevant today. With your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center, New York, Kaustubh Das. Welcome to the show. This is episode 1342.
Nice.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Okay, well, welcome, Raghunath. You don't just jump right into that.
You don't. Okay, no one told me. We have a very focused announcement. We're not going to jump right in. We're here live with a big group here on our Wisdom of the Sages retreat in Tuscany. It's our 4th annual one. It's getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. We're here in the beautiful museum, the Mahabharat Museum. We're actually on the 2nd floor, which is the Ramayan room.
Ramayana, yes.
It's pretty awesome, huh? With it's giant Vishnu and Garuda facing us. A massive, 16 by 16 painting of the return of Ram to Ayodhya. We have Ravana kidnapping Sita. We have a giant wooden carved statue of Valmiki and Sita and Love and Kush. It's quite wonderful. We actually have a giant gong. I don't know what that's for, but it's beautiful and, for sound bathing for those who are very filthy. This will clean you up real quick. One hit of that gong. And, yeah. And we're super happy to be here. Had an incredible day yesterday.
Tell me about it.
Well, we started with our morning sangha. That was nice and fun. We sang songs, told stories. Then we all
little asana.
Little move our bodies.
Little prasad after that.
Yeah, a little prasad. And then we all hopped on a bus and went to these beautiful springs and waterfalls. I've just posted some pictures where we swam, cooled off. And then we went to the ancient village, walled city of Volterra and spent the day there on a museum tour and eating. We found a plant-based restaurant as soon as we got there. So about 20 of us went right there. This sleepy little village. We just packed that place. And the owner was like, oh my God, plant-based fans.
I thought it would be a great idea, but nobody comes.
Nobody comes. They eat some food. They all want some mozzarella. We're like, give us that vegan mozzarella, sir. And it was really cool. You know what? They built this cafe with what was it called? The name of the cafe? I can't remember. But if you're in Volterra, yeah. But anyway, they had a glass floor, and underneath the floor, they showed how when you renovate the building, they found a whole archaeological dig underneath them. So there was like a well dating back before Jesus.
We saw that in a museum, same kind of thing.
The same thing. You're looking right at. Oh, it's called Life Bistro, plant-based restaurant in Tuscany. So that there was just he goes, yeah, we found this thing, and they put a hold on our renovation for 2 years as the archaeologist came in. He's like, we knew it was old. We found all these Roman coins while we were digging. It was like a dream come true for me. Imagine that.
I was saying this all the time when we were going through the different museums, saying, oh, this Raghunath would be totally into the digging into the ground, pulling out different kinds.
Oh, man, they're digging. They're pulling out all different types of stuff.
Yeah, that's your thing.
Totally my thing.
Only you just don't know anything about it. But other than that, it's like totally your thing. What, did that hurt?
What? That hurt me.
You don't know.
You don't think I know about excavation, about archaeology, about Roman coins, about the Romans?
I don't think you do.
Come on.
What's the name of the Roman coins? What do they call the coin?
What do they call the coins?
Yeah. You see? You see what I mean?
What do they call them?
Well, they must have had some name. I don't know.
They called them Roman coins.
I doubt that's what they called
Killings.
They probably didn't have an English name for them, but
yeah,
it's all right.
So you can't ask me a question if you do not know the answer to
No,
it.
but I admit that I don't know it. You're saying that you do. Yeah. You see how that works?
We just call them Roman coins.
Okay. All right.
Wisdom of the Sages is heading west, people, and holding a retreat for the LA Rath Yatra at Veda Yoga in Los Angeles.
What's the LA Rath Yatra?
The LA Rath Yatra is that big, giant Lord Jagannath festival. They take the deities on these massive carts. Lord Jagannath is a particular deity of Krishna. This festival originated in Puri, in Odisha in East India.
Thousands of years ago.
Thousands. They don't even know the beginning of time. It's one of these ancient temples. And then Prabhupada brought that festival to the West, and we just went to the New York Rath Yatra. And for those who were there for the first time, their minds were blown.
Blown.
And then if you've never been there, my favorite is New York and LA, actually.
Yeah, those are your two favorites.
Those are my two favorites in America. And actually, you know what's really good? These ones in Florida, they do on the beach.
Little ones on the beach.
It's sort of like spring break. People don't know what, all the kids from Alachua are pulling the cart. Everybody's like, it's like my teenage son was there. It's sort of like girls in bikinis, guys in like swim shorts. Lord Jagannath. I was like, this is like a teenager devotee kid's dream come true. It's like they're eating prasad, they're singing songs, they're pulling a giant cart through the sand, they're jumping in the water when it gets too hot. Anyway, LA is going to be great. It's right along. It goes from Dogtown, what we know is Dogtown, where the home of skateboarding, into Venice Beach, and then parks it at Venice Beach for a big festival. Me and Kastuba and Mara are going down. We're doing it at Veda Yoga, our good friend Kumi's yoga studio.
Like a retreat, a mini retreat.
It's like a little mini retreat. Friday night, all day Saturday, and Sunday is the
come for the retreat and then stay for the
stay for the Rath Yatra. If you're looking for a good reason to go to SoCal, this is your time, and that is August 2nd through the 4th.
Okay.
You can check it out at wisdomofthesages.com to register.
Go to events.
On our events page.
All
right. How's people signing up for the new Wisdom of the Sages platform?
That's important that we talk about that. There are 31 groups currently, and 25 of them are entirely full.
I was just talking about signing up for our community-based, community-supported podcast. You're talking about the Sage groups.
I thought you meant the Sage groups.
Okay, Sage groups. Let's talk about the Sage groups. You want to sign up for Sage groups? Do you go to wisdomofthesages.com and sign up for one of our Sage groups?
Yeah, you can see what's left. And, if you have trouble, like if there's no group that works with your time at this point or anything like that, write in. Let us know. Write to wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com. Let us know that you can't find one that works for you. We'll see if we can adjust things for you. Because usually what we do is we fill them all up until they're almost all full. And then there's stragglers that can't quite fit in a group. Then we make a few adjustments, see if we can accommodate people. But the sooner you go into, get into this, the better, because it's gonna shut down pretty soon, right? When will it shut down?
There's only 21 slots left. People find it a great way to build community, meet people, and then we have like events like this here. People are meeting their Sage group friends. It's pretty good. It's the equivalent of pen pals. When we were little, we used to write people letters. Now you're coming together online, you're doing it, and then you get together for a meeting, and it's a great way to make friends and community, but they're deep.
To make pals.
To make pals and develop some substance within your spiritual community.
Ask questions you may have. You may have a lot of questions.
Yeah, it's a lot of questions and
answers.
A lot of hard sharing. It's quite beautiful.
You tears sometimes.
We have a lot of very, very positive feedback from Sage Group members. So if you haven't tried it, dive in.
Well, why don't we bring on some Sage Group people just to discuss it a bit?
Oh, yeah. We have some Sage Group people here. Who do we got?
Kylie Brown online. And
we got
here.
Okay, we got Kylie Brown. Kylie is what?
Unmuted already.
She's unmuted. Kylie, can you hear us?
All right, Krishna. Please accept.
Kylie is one of our regular listeners, and she's a Sage Group leader. Lives in North Carolina with her husband, Brian, whom we love. Kylie, how's it going?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Tell us about your Sage Group experience.
You've been on both sides, leader as well as...
I'm a member and a facilitator. And
you do both simultaneously?
I do. Well, last time I'm not, but this time again, I'm going to be a member and a facilitator.
You are like addicted.
It's been a game changer for my practice. I'm so, so grateful for you both, for this service, for engaging so many people in service, and for this amazing community. It's really, it's amazing. All of the different facilitators and leaders, there's such an amazing variety. You have pundits, and then you have people like me that just want to be a trusted friend to people. And it's really been just a privilege to be in association with amazing people and I just feel honored that I get to witness so many wonderful souls just sort of coming out of their shells and reconnecting with who they really are. I get to witness people's offering kirtan and just sharing their practice week to week. So it's been a real privilege. So I'm
Did you know any of these people in person, or you just met them online?
I know some people in person, but this past Yeah, I know some people. I don't want to like say, I don't want to,
Name names.
You don't
name
want to
names
name.
just
We want
because,
names.
yeah, I want everybody's, consent before I glorify everybody. But yeah, a lot of these people in my group this time, I've just known from online.
I
And
give you.
a
I give you.
couple
To,
I've known
I
on
give you
retreat.
consent. I give you consent to glorify me if you like. Just putting that out
You
there.
haven't been in any of the groups.
I know, but she was seeing that she wants consent before she glorifies. I just
Okay.
thought I'd put it out there. All of you, I give you all consent to glorify me.
He's in his medieval mood since yesterday.
Well, that's beautiful.
Kylie's. I would accept her as a trusted friend if I entered that group. She's just a great soul.
Sure. Is your group all full for the next session?
It is awful, but it's but yeah, like you were saying, Prabhuji's, if the time slot works, please, write in.
Okay.
Okay. So you're saying you can break some rules for those who want to
Stretch
get
it
in.
a little. Sometimes stretch.
All right, that's good. Well, we're glad you're part of the team, Kylie, and we love you. And keep going strong.
Thank you, Kylie.
Now we're going to bring a real live three-dimensional human. Not that you are not that, but you're not that right now for us. But let's get Johannes down here from Norway. Just met Johannes in person the other day. He's been showing up live on Zoom, but he's got a whole interesting little backstory.
What's he got to say?
Johannes, yes, last year after the retreat, when me and McKelly and Tarek and Mara and my little boy were eating dinner at a restaurant in San Casciano right up the road, in walks in this backpacker. Welcome, Johannes.
Thank you very much. How are you all, everyone?
And what was your story? Did you come? I can't remember. Refresh my memory. What happened?
Well, I was interested in Bhakti from a distance, so I thought I'd come here to see the museum. Tarek gave me a tour, and then by chance, my Airbnb was 1 minute away from where we ended up eating dinner that night. So I just ambushed you kind of when I walked in.
You didn't know we were there, though.
No. I just saw Tarek through the window and went, hi.
So
And there you were.
That's one of those moments in life where like I could go for it or I could just not to, and you went for it.
Yeah, I went for it, luckily. And now I'm here.
That's so cool. Did I invite you to sit with us and eat?
No.
Sorry. I was like, we're having dinner, sir. Please leave us alone.
No, you were very sweet.
I was very sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And yeah, and he was like, oh yeah, you guys are into Wisdom of the Sages. That's what, and I was like a little shocked. It was peculiar. And then what happened after you went back? How did you get more into it?
Well, I took that as a sign to sort of start listening more regularly. I was like 300 episodes behind at that point, I think.
300 episodes behind. Not
Yeah.
bad, considering we
Yeah.
had 1,300
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah. Well, I didn't start from the beginning, but I was that far ahead behind
Wait.
at that time.
You didn't start from the beginning.
No, I started listening in early 2021, I think.
So you're just running 300 behind.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
Staying right there.
And then I found this speed up function in my podcast app, and I used that to.
So it makes me talk. It makes me talk really fast.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to speed up him without speeding up you.
I was sure there was a way to speed him up too.
Slow you down.
Yeah.
So great. So what's your deal now? You're in a Sage group?
I am.
Who's?
In Kylie's center.
Oh, you're in Kylie's.
Yeah.
She's good, isn't she?
She's amazing. She's great. It's
you're
so
in
cool. You
Kylie's
can
group?
just click a button and show up, and people organize this whole thing. There's a whole machinery running for you, and you can just show up. It's amazing.
We got great souls that are behind that.
Yeah.
Another facet of our community of people who create all these things,
Yeah.
organize all these things, and do all these things.
Ishwar Sundari, Sri Rupa,
Yeah.
Linda's helping out, Braj Bihari.
Then, of course, those who are creating the whole new web platform, which was a labor of love to help support this community. And it's really, we sort of grow when we have accountability of a community.
Oh, we should make an announcement about that. It's just yesterday, the talk that you gave yesterday morning already dropped.
Yeah.
Wait, what talk?
You spoke yesterday morning, in the morning.
My morning Sangha.
Your morning Sangha.
What'd you do with that?
It's already exists on the platform.
Uh-huh.
See, that's the kind of thing that you get when we're going to be pumping out a lot of new
Okay.
content.
So there's our push for come join our community. It's a monthly contribution. We subsist on your mercy. So yes, wisdomofthesages.com.
Yes. Please join. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you. We brought him specifically to say that. Okay. And you're from Norway. You should give more.
Norway.
Oh, those guys are rich in Norway, right?
Some.
Some are. Are you kidding? I tried to take my friend out for like a falafel in Norway. It was like $100. I was like, I spent $100 on falafel for like,
Honestly.
right?
Yeah.
It's like the currency is everything costs a fortune in Norway.
Maybe they can't
Anyway.
give then.
Yeah, no, they can.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Johannes, we love having you here. You're a beautiful man.
I'd love to be here.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
Johannes.
Haribol, everyone.
Hari. All right.
All right. Narayanam namaskritya chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta preshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmaditam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading for the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, Text 48.
I got it right here, so we could just keep it online if you want.
Okay, great.
Would that be better for you?
How are you doing, by the way?
A little under the weather,
Are you
but
a little
happy
under the
to be
weather?
here. Happy to be
Okay,
here.
I'm exhausted. You're liking the hair and the beard? You like the new look here?
You just want to touch it.
Yeah, you can touch it. It's soft.
Very soft.
People say I'm a cross between like Ravi Shankar meets like Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know.
Okay.
I've been called both.
Okay. Let's keep moving here.
Okay. Let's leave Jeffrey Epstein out of the show. Oh, Krishna.
Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. So we're back in the Bhagavatam. We're it's the end of a long conversation. It's an end. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have kept you over here.
What I'm listening to you.
Okay. What was I saying?
We're back in the Bhagavatam.
Yeah. End of a long conversation. Who's been speaking for the past 10 chapters?
Well, it's been Lord Shringadev has been and Prahlad have been going back and forth.
But who's discussing them?
Oh, it's Narada.
Yeah.
Is discussed with
King
Yudhisthira.
That's right. So now they're just wrapping up that conversation. And we've heard so much of the glories of Prahlad. This section is the way of the author of all the great Vedic literature of Vyasadeva to show in the Bhagavatam. Now I'm gonna make everything very clear. If you were confused about, read all these books and couldn't quite understand where does it all go, I'm telling you right now, it goes to divine love, it goes to bhakti, and in order to show you how special that is, I want to narrate the story about Sri Prahlad, great little soul, right? Now that that's done, Yudhishthira might be thinking, oh, boy, Prahlad really is amazing. I wish I were more like that. I don't know if I can ever be like that. I don't know if Krishna will ever see me like that, right? I don't know if I can ever come to that level. It could be, it could bring you down a little bit, right?
Sure.
Sometimes seeing someone great.
Yeah. Sometimes seeing someone great, instead of being like, they're so great, you start thinking, I'm so bad. You ever do that?
Yeah, it can happen. That happens with people sometimes. And so understanding the mind of Yudhishthira, now Narada is going to speak to him and say, oh, you Pandavas, you're very special. You're right up there with Prahlad. In some ways, they're even more special. Because, Vishnu appeared to Prahlad for a moment. They had some discussion, and then he was gone. Right? Not that he wasn't always in the heart, so that's there too. But Krishna stayed with the Pandavas. He would come and visit them and just stay with them.
They're good friends.
Not only their friend, he related with them intimately in many different ways, even becoming like a servant of them. So this is a famous verse, actually, the verses that we're going to be reading coming up. And it's just showing something about the nature of God. The Bhagavatam is going to explain that we can understand God in three ways. There's the impersonal, all-pervasive energy of God. It's everywhere. But that's kind of like God not showing everything, right? Like holding back.
Yeah, it's just
not
sort of
revealing
getting
his
understanding sort of the essence of there's some.
All of it's coming from one divine source.
It's like me going into your closet.
Oh,
yeah. Ever go into somebody's closet and you go, got like a smell. It's a scent, and you're like, oh, that reminds me
No,
of.
other people don't do
You know,
that.
you know, a smell. You know, I used to go into my father's closet. Okay,
Sniff
and you
around.
sniff around. It smells like your dad. And
Were
it's
you
like,
on
your
all
dad's
fours?
not there.
Were you on,
Dad,
were you on all fours while you were sniffing around like that? I just wondering about the next birth. But go ahead.
you get the essence of a person. Like that's, you know, you get an essence of
Through
a
the
person
sniffing?
through the sniffing,
Okay.
right? Just like a dog sniffs, right? They get the essence of like someone's been here. They just got the essence of a being, but they're not the being.
Okay.
It's the clothes of the being.
Right.
It's the scent of the being, but
Other
it's not the
property.
being. So the impersonal feature, you don't see God face to face. You see God in his essence, in his scent.
Okay.
Of sorts.
All right. So there's the non-personal energy, all-pervasive energy of God. But it says, but you can know God more intimately, more when you understand that he expands in the form of Lord Vishnu, and he enters the soul of every living being, and he enters even every atom. He energizes everything and ties it all together. That's Paramatma, right? So first there's Brahman, then there's Paramatma, but still, but that's still not the full picture. That's still, he hasn't revealed his whole self. But he reveals his whole self as Bhagavan, as Krishna himself, as a boy, you know, beautiful boy. You can love him in any variety of ways. That Bhagavan form, the very personal form, is most special. A lot of times people have a kind of like, yeah, you can call it an issue, a hang up, you know, a fear.
Fear.
You know, that I don't want to be dependent on any person, right? If I'm dependent on an energy, that maybe I can live with that. But another person, I don't know. Why? Because we have so many mixed up experiences with people.
With authorities, with parents,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
with church leaders, with school teachers, which
Mm.
older brothers or nutty uncles or something like that. So we have some authority issues. When I finally get to a place of self-governance, then I was like, no, I don't trust higher authorities.
Have you been hurt, Raghunath? Tell me.
Oh yeah, I've been hurt.
Okay. All right.
By Kastuba. You've hurt me.
I'm sorry. But so any case, now we're going to hear that when you get to know Krishna, he's not all that you fear, it's none of that.
You don't have to worry about that. Krishna is all love.
As a matter of fact, in all those relationships where you were searching for that love and got disappointed, you're going to find it right here because he responds to you in such a loving way. And we're going to see how Narada is going to say, think about it, Yudhishthira. Think about Krishna in your own life. Think about all the ways that he's shown his love to you in a wide variety of ways. Your family is very, very special. That's what he's saying.
Krishna is that unconditional love that you want. Sometimes we project that another person. We expect people to love us like we want Krishna to love us. We have that desire for unconditional love. It's natural.
Natural.
But that's mostly reposed in a higher source. Sometimes we find people who can actually really be good for us. That are really good people, but in our life. But ultimately, the material world will let everybody down because we're all fallible. We don't know what each other are thinking. We also get sick and die. Sometimes people get sick and die and they feel like, well, now what am I supposed to do? My partner died and they die. That's a very common thing. There's a name for that. Someone look that up on the message board, please. Okay. When your partner dies, then you just sort of like, you die like 4 days later. Yeah, you feel like I've got nothing.
Sometimes they've been together for many, many decades.
Yeah. Ever see people that have been together for decades, they start to look like each other? That's weird.
Okay.
True, though.
All right. There's probably a name for that, too.
There's probably a name for that, too.
Okay. Why don't we get into...
Ever see people that look like their dogs or their pets?
We've seen that.
That's a thing, too.
Okay. Have you ever seen this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yes.
Text number 48,
seen that, too.
Chapter 10, Canto 7.
Narada Muni continued. My dear Maharaj Yudhisthira, all of you, the Pandavas.
That's Arjuna's family from the Bhagavad Gita, in case you don't know.
Are extremely fortunate for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna lives in your palace just like a human being.
Like anyone else would live there.
Imagine if Krishna lived in your guest room.
Oh. It would be amazing. Okay.
Krishna, you're leaving your sandals around again. I wonder if Krishna is clean and orderly, or if he's a little I
have a feeling Mara would be running around doing a lot if that were the case.
You can't get mad at him.
No, you can't.
You can't get mad at him.
Well, sometimes those that are very intimate with him do.
Yeah.
And he actually, because there's a little flavor in there.
And he relishes that.
There's a little flavor in that he relishes.
Yeah. I tell you, You know what's incredible? Downstairs. I want to take a tour and give a little tour of the downstairs paintings.
Yeah.
Because there are some of these paintings, and I just want to burst into tears.
Oh.
Oh my God. It's Krishna relating with the Pandavas, and
Draupadi.
relating with Draupadi, relating with
Yeah.
Kunti.
That one with
And
Draupadi.
it's just like it makes you want to cry your eyes out. Let's do that. A painting tour.
Let's see if we can cry a little bit.
Let's see if we cry a little bit. Krishna lives in your palace just like a human being. Great saintly persons know this very well, and therefore they constantly visit this house.
Great souls like Narda, these higher beings, they want to come and visit the Pandavas. It's not like I'm just visiting some ordinary politician.
Right.
I'm
Like a
connected-
fancy house. Like, oh, look at this fancy house.
Or big important person who's
Right.
here. No. They know that that there's something very special on the spiritual
Right.
level going on.
Like you like these mundane museums, you know, you're like, oh, look at this. And I'm like, big deal. And you're like, oh, no, it is. And I'm like,
That
no,
happened?
it's nothing.
Did that happen? I don't remember that.
You're like, I
But
got a museum pass. I was like, let it go. The Medici family.
All right.
Okay.
Now the next verse. This is an important one. Yeah.
The impersonal Brahman is Krishna himself. Right? We talked about that impersonal
all
feature.
pervasive spiritual energy that some people think that's beyond any person. No,
Yeah.
Krishna says actually that comes
Yeah.
from me.
God is the ocean. God is the sky. God is the, right? God is the forest. God is the jungle. Yeah. But actually, that comes from Krishna. The impersonal Brahman is Krishna himself because Krishna is the source.
And that's right there in Bhagavad Gita. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. I am the basis. I'm the source of
Yeah.
that
You
impersonal.
worship at that, it comes from me.
Okay.
Right?
So why not go back to the source?
He is the origin of the transcendental bliss sought by great saintly persons. Because there's some concepts of yoga where you just want the bliss, you want the light, you want the right.
Not a person.
Right. It's also not a person. It's
You're
a
thinking,
concept
you're thinking this is beyond
of
person.
mukti, of freedom, of the material pulls. Right. So we're all getting pulled in different directions. And how we get pulled? We get pulled by our senses, by our tongue, by our belly, our genitals are just pulling us around. And Krishna, we want to be free from the pulls, and we just want some peace. Krishna's the source of that.
Okay. We think people are the problem. It's not exactly people is the problem. It's how we understand those people, how we relate to people. We'll read the commentary.
Okay.
But continue.
The personal where are we? Point to me here.
Persons.
I think we're still here.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
We just start from the beginning.
The impersonal Brahman is Krishna himself because Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahman. He is the origin of the transcendental bliss sought by great saintly persons. Yet, he, the Supreme Person, is your most dear friend and constant well-wisher and is intimately related to you as the son of your maternal uncle.
Your cousins.
Right? Indeed, he is always like your body and soul. He is worshipable, yet he acts as your servant and sometimes as your spiritual master.
How did he act as a servant of the Pandavas?
He drove the chariot.
Oh, that's one. That's
a big one.
Yeah.
The chariot driver. It's like, Kostya, drive me over there, please.
All right.
All right. That's like a servant. So he's the servant of Arjuna.
What's another way that he served? He became their messenger.
He became a messenger,
How
like
so?
he tried to establish peace so they wouldn't get into the Kurukshetra war.
Right.
He practically begged, look,
Yudhishthira
the
wanted to make
Pandavas,
peace.
the Pandavas just want peace. It'll be good. So he became a what's that called? A
messenger.
well, there's a better word.
He carried them. Oh, envoy.
An envoy.
Became the envoy.
Became the envoy for the Pandavas.
He traveled long distances to go
Yeah.
deliver their message, and then he became their spiritual master.
Then he became the guru, and
How so?
he was always sort of their guru, but they always looked at in the Bhagavad Gita, he's the guru of Arjuna.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like Arjuna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I've been treating you like a friend. You're not my friend. You're my guru. You're the supreme.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's saying, not only do you have an intimate connection with him, you have an intimate family connection with him. Not only do you have an intimate connection, but he as his servant, but he even serves you as if he were your servant. He loves you so much.
Mhm.
He wants to taste what it tastes like to serve those he loves, and he loves you so much. He becomes your messenger. He'll drive your chariot. He'll do anything for you. Think about how special that is.
Yeah. He becomes good, attentive friend. Everybody wants a good, attentive friend. And he demonstrates that in those stories in the Mahabharata, how he's a very attentive friend of Draupadi, an attentive friend of Yudhisthira, an attentive friend of Bhima.
He
It's like
gets
so
emotional.
beautiful.
He gets emotional.
He gets really emotional.
Wrapped up.
He carries Draupadi's shoes on his head.
So let's read the commentary.
There is always a difference of opinion about the absolute truth, right? These differences of opinion exist in truth in all spiritual traditions.
Okay.
And here they are. One class of transcendentalists concludes that the absolute truth is impersonal.
Okay, when you get to the end, there's no person behind it. There's just this divine energy.
There's just a divine light.
Okay.
And then another class concludes the absolute truth is a person.
Walk up, shake hands, say,
Yeah, like, come here, give me a hug.
Embrace.
Give me a hug. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, the absolute truth is accepted as the supreme person. Indeed, the supreme person himself, Lord Krishna, instructs in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahmano hi pratishtaham mata parataram nanyat.
Those are two different verses, but Prabhupada just put them together.
That's smart. The impersonal Brahman is my partial manifestation, and there is no truth superior to me.
That same. Someone might say, "Oh well, let's read the whole thing. We'll talk about it."
Okay,
that's important.
That same Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, acted as the supreme friend and relative of the Pandavas, and sometimes he even acted as their servant by carrying a letter from the Pandavas to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana.
Carrying a letter.
Because Krishna was the well-wisher of the Pandavas, he also acted as a guru by becoming the spiritual master of Arjuna. Arjuna accepted Krishna as a spiritual master. And Krishna sometimes chastised him.
Oh, yeah. In Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. For example, the Lord said, Asosyan of asociastvam pragya badams chabasashe. While speaking learned words, you're mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. The Lord also said, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samapashtitam. My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? Such was the initial relationship between the Pandavas and Krishna. In the same way, a pure devotee of the Lord is always with Krishna through thick and through thin. The way of life is Krishna. This is the statement of the authority of Sri Narada Muni.
That's an interesting way to phrase it. His way of life is Krishna. Right? The center of the entire life. His intention goes that way. His heart goes that way. His actions go that way. His words, they all go to him.
So we're not digging in our heels and saying, yeah, Krishna has no impersonal form. He does have an impersonal form. But the impersonal is the source, comes from the personal in the same way the sunlight comes from the sun globe.
Right. Yeah. So it's not uncommon. You see, Prabhupada said, he said there's two different ideas. Some believe the absolute truth is impersonal. Some believe the absolute truth is a person. Then he says the Bhagavad Gita says that the absolute truth is a person. Okay, when you take it to the final end, you find a person there. Now, it's not uncommon if you read other books that are less direct. Same author, Vyasadeva, right? Same sage compiling this timeless wisdom. If you read certain books, it'll feel more like, no, the impersonal comes at the end. It's the impersonal that's the source. That's because he was explaining it to people that appeals to, right? He's giving spiritual knowledge to people who that idea appeals to.
Because there is some type of benefit as opposed to being a complete materialist.
Yes.
And so we find that within what we know as Hinduism, it's not just sort of black and white. There's nuanced versions of our spiritual life. The grossest example of me existing in the material world as a pure materialist is I'm the center. Everything around to fulfill my ego and my senses to please me is good. Everything that's going to take me away from that pleasure is bad. And so then in the 12th chapter, it starts talking about little bits of sacrifice to take you out of the center, right? And I think we get this as adults, especially if you have children, you start to realize, okay, it's not about me. And then all this, it's all about me. And then you get married and you realize, okay, it's not all about me. And even if you can override your partner and say, no, you better serve me. That's what it says. You better serve me. Then all of a sudden you pop out a couple kids and you realize, okay, now it's really not about me. And you start like having to maintain. And it's the idea of sacrifice means I am no longer the center. I'm giving back to something bigger than myself. Maybe it's as small as a partnership. Maybe it's as small as a family. Maybe it's as small of a village or a town or a city. And then in the ultimate big way, we realize that we are constantly sacrificing, and there's a payoff. We get something back in return.
Good karma.
And the good karma. We feel better about ourselves. We feel more. If you talk to people about at the time of death, what means, even like a relatively materialistic person, my family is very important, because they've sacrificed for something bigger than themselves.
They've expanded their field of,
Yeah.
of concern just from themselves to broader.
And then within Hinduism, there's all these interesting metaphysical ways to climb ladders out of even of this world.
Mhm.
There's ways to, pay off certain demigods to get some mystical tricks, a bag of tricks, or to worship some planets to sort of counteract some malevolent planet or malevolent karma
Which
that
is
you
an
have
aspect
coming.
of someone's bad karma.
Which is an aspect of someone's bad karma. Then there's a thing about worshiping God for something. Then there's the idea of like worshiping the impersonal, worshiping the absolute truth in an impersonal way to free myself from a sensual experience that has a beginning and an end. And so then, and they're saying, but if you want pure, and basically all of the Vedas teach these things. They're completely otherworldly, bargaining for pleasure. But this one Purana, this Amala Purana, this spotless Purana, the Bhagavatam, and then when you read the Bhagavad Gita, now the Bhagavad Gita actually fully blossoms. You fully understand. Bhagavad Gita, in one sense, is all people can appreciate that, all different spiritual traditions. But once you read it with the Bhagavatam, you get, I get where this whole thing is going. And this is why it's called the final conclusion or the cream of the crop, because there's nothing there except pure prema, love of God.
Okay.
Whew, whew.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. My name's Dragunov. You couldn't hear that applause back there because my mic only picks up things up close, but
okay, so a lot of people that, as we were discussing earlier, just stay with me, Rogi. I know you exhausted yourself.
I'm going to take a nap now.
But they feel, and maybe because they want to feel this, that any manifestation of personality is just some temporary material programming in a mind.
But for dumb humans that need a personality. So once you go above that,
yeah,
right?
Okay. So all of that is artificial. All of that is temporary. All of it is illusion. It actually doesn't factually exist, because all that exists is spiritual energy. And so when we get to real, true spirituality, there's no personality left. What the Bhagavad Gita says, what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, or what we're reading in Bhagavatam, is that there's a false ego that's programming in the mind. But there's actually a real person, a real ego, a real self that's individual.
Mm-hmm.
It has its own free will,
Mm-hmm.
and it has that free will eternally, has that individuality eternally. That
Yes.
we are not, our existence isn't just some illusory, unexplainable, painful kind of play of that one spiritual energy that comes around and suffers for a very long time and then stops suffering. It's saying that no, that's just even, it doesn't, there's not a sound logic to that. But there's a very sound logic to the idea that we are all individual sparks. We're individual, eternal. I'm always me. You're always you.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
To me.
But when we enter into the virtual reality of this world, it's just like we took on an avatar and we began to identify with that avatar, right? We got a body with its senses and programming within the mind, and we begin to play that role. But behind it is still a person. That's us. And so yoga becomes the practice by which we uncover the true self.
Undress ourselves from the costumes we've been wearing.
Easy on undress.
Undress. Yeah, we get attached to a show, a TV show, and sometimes we take on the role of one of the characters of the show or a movie.
Like that.
Start acting like Tony Soprano or something. Yeah, finished with something like that. You get attracted by some thing that they have, some persona or character.
Opulence.
Yeah, and you take that on. You want to be like that crazy person on the show. That's why you got to be careful what shows you watch. And also there should be some like parameters of what shows you can make. I'm into
you want to censor.
yeah, I'm into censorship in certain ways. I think there should be like some of these real creepy movies censored. Censor them. It's like I just feel like they're giving creepy people creepy ideas.
So now you're the judge here. You decide what we can and cannot. People might censor you. People might say this podcast.
I know. I would say that the Bhagavatam be the judge.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to. I can
No, I
step
got-
out. I can be on the
I'm
board of
sort of with you.
directors if they want. But
So also Prabhupada, he quoted 2 verses from Bhagavad Gita here. One was what the one we discussed earlier. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Aham, I
come from the Brahman.
No.
No.
The Brahman comes from me.
Brahman comes from me. Brahmano hi pratishtaham.
I'm the basis of that. It comes from me. And then he quotes this other one from Bhagavad Gita, the very interesting verse, right, where he says that all things are strung upon me as pearls are strung upon a thread.
Mata parataram nanyat kunchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutra mani gana eva. So all the pearls, they look like they're all together, magically floating around someone's neck. But actually, there's an invisible thread holding them all together. Krishna
It
is
can be
that
inferred.
invisible thread.
Just like you got right here, all of these beads.
Yeah.
They're all lined up like this. There must be. We can look at that and infer. There must be a thread that's holding them all together.
It's interesting because you see, we were talking about this morning. You see this beautiful, gigantic 10-foot Garuda and Vishnu sculpture. You see this massive 16 by 16-foot painting. It's like
a little research.
wherever there is a creation, there is an intelligent source behind it who's planning things out and
holding it together,
creating it. We can't see that creator. I don't know who painted that. I don't know who carved that, but somebody did it. We can infer that.
Okay. So Krishna's saying you can, by seeing order in the universe, you can understand that it's strung together. And I am the one that strings it together. Right. And then he says, there is no truth superior to me. And this goes, this is not just, this is it's answering a very specific idea, right? That's taught. The idea that, okay, if I believe that the highest thing is impersonal, I might say, okay, your worship of Krishna, that will help you. Right, that'll get you to a certain place, and your little cute little sweet little
bhakti things, worshiping God. But ultimately,
these are sweet, and you express some emotion, especially if you're a particularly emotional person.
Yeah,
this might
sing your song.
Sing your little song.
Sing your little
very
Krishna
condescending.
Song. It's very condescending. Sing your little Krishna, do your little Krishna dance.
But when you want to come to real truth,
it's nothing.
You have to let go of all of that.
Right.
Yeah, you get behind it all. And you'll find that all form is illusion, including your sweet little Krishna idea.
You use Krishna to get to that place.
You can use Krishna to get there, but no.
It's so horrible.
In Bhagavad Gita, we find Krishna saying there's no truth superior to me. It's not like I'm I'm not your stepping stone. It's essentially,
you know what? That's what it's saying. I'm not your stepping stone. It's a very spiritual song.
It's not like you worship me and then you let me go and then you find what's beyond me, which is the impersonal. No, it's the other way around. Flip it. The impersonal comes from me. You can advance from impersonal understanding to Paramatma understanding, ultimately to the personal form of God understanding. That's the progression that it goes. And if you think about it, just think about it. Just think about it.
I'm thinking. Tell
me
what to think.
This search that we have for love. That if you just go deep within your own heart, you're gonna find it. You're gonna go deep, brother.
I am.
Have you found it yet?
I'm going so deep.
Don't go too deep. Come back out. So if you go deep within the heart of every living being, we'll find the search. We can see it in the animals.
The search for love.
Oh, like we were talking about that kangaroo thing that I shared with you a couple of weeks back. Do you remember that?
Me and the naked kangaroo.
No, not that one. Let's stay away from nakedness. No, I saw this.
Remember that whole thing?
Wow.
It went on for a few days, didn't it? Me and the
kangaroo
yoga naked with the kangaroo.
Was weird, that was weird.
Did you miss that episode? Who missed that episode? Johannes, you got to go back and find that episode. Did you hear that one? The naked kangaroo. Okay, that was
I'm just saying there's this video of this guy. He's inside his house and he's got big sliding glass doors. And a huge kangaroo comes up and puts this claw up against the glass. That claw is this
Oh yeah.
serious looking dead. Any
Yeah.
Australian people? We don't have Australians here. Yes. You've,
Uh,
who's seen the kangaroo up close? Those powerful creatures.
Powerful.
They got a
They're like
very powerful
ripped.
tail. Yeah. So they're scary. He's standing up on his hind legs and he puts his claw up against the window like.
Yeah.
You look at that, I would think, back off, guy. You know.
Yeah.
But no, the person understood. Oh, he's calling for me. He needs help. He's like saying, "Help me," and so he followed the kangaroo, and then he found the
baby, the Joey
that was stuck down in some kind of deep crevice, and they didn't have like the arms or the grip.
No, they got like little Tyrannosaurus arms.
They got little arms, and they don't really grip like fingers grip.
No.
So it's good for
little
clawing your face off.
little lobster claws.
They don't have lobster claws. But so anyway, so the human got there, took the little arms from the little Joey, and just pulled it. It wasn't easy. Pulled it out of that crevice.
Oh wow!
And the kangaroos were so touched by this that
they welcomed him.
They followed him the whole group because there's a whole group over there.
Oh,
they all followed him home, and every day they
made about honorary member.
Basically,
that'd be great to be accepted into the
it's
coven
like
of
every day the guy
kangaroos.
goes out to the subway or to the store, something like that. The whole
they greet him.
They all follow him,
waving their little claw.
They are forever grateful. Now that right there, it's inside the heart of every living being. That appreciation of love, that call for love, it's there. It's not artificial. That's take comfort.
I totally agree.
Take comfort in the fact that that's not illusion. That's actually real. Now, how it's playing out may have been warped through your mind, but underneath it all, it's real.
You ever see those animals that are like they're abandoned by their mother, and then like they just like get left with a tiger, and a tiger's about to eat, and they're like instead a tiger like licks it. It's like a doe, and it starts like, and then it starts thinking it's his mother.
Well, I think I've shared this with you
on
the show.
He thinks
before.
it's his mother.
No, that's how people become raised by the wolves.
We had a whole episode about raised by wolves, didn't we?
I don't think a whole episode, but I shared this with you before. The wolf goes out to bring food home for the babies, and if they bring enough home, and they bring a human baby home as well, then if they're already full by the time it comes to the human baby, then they leave it there for now.
They feed the human baby.
But you know, and
where'd the human baby come from?
They go through the village and they find it.
The wolf takes a human baby.
The wolf takes a human baby to feed the young. Okay,
but doesn't kill it. Or does kill
No,
it.
it's going to wait to kill it till the moment that they eat it. But now the children, the young are already full. And this is the thing. And this is why India is the place where most...
It's true. All these feral children are found in India.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to share with you the secret.
Share with me your wisdom.
I've told it to you before,
Maharaj.
but it didn't register. So
okay.
Because
I must have been looking at the message board. How did I miss out? How did I miss out on this nectar?
This is the kind of thing that fascinates you.
Okay, tell me.
Because in India, they cover the babies with oil.
Okay.
And so the mother's
it's a thing. It's
smelling that oil and then starts to lick the baby, right? And after she's been licking that baby for enough time, she starts to associate it, relate to it as if it's her own baby.
Okay.
And that's how human babies get raised by the wolves.
Why is that so funny, Mara? Mara loved that one.
Just touched her in a special way.
I like that one too. It is a thing, though. You always hear about. If you Google feral children, India is the land of feral wolf children. And why is it only wolf? Mara's losing it. Why is it only wolves? Are they the only ones?
I don't know, but we've spent enough time with this. Now's the time we move on. I'm sorry. Just when it got exciting.
just when the podcast was getting good.
We revealed all we know on the subject. Now we can.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody do some research. We'll cut you on the show tomorrow about feral children raised by various. There's got to be monkeys raising humans.
Not that I know of. They don't lick their young.
That may not be the only criteria.
But it's an important
child.
It's an important part of it. That's what I was just sharing with you. Plays a very important role.
Anyway, but I'm thinking there's other animals that raise other animals too.
Yeah, I want some. I was staying at New Vrindavan.
Like I know a guy. I just met a guy who has a baby fox,
No
and
kidding.
he raises that fox, and that fox will come. The fox is friends with all the cats.
Well,
It doesn't chase the cats. It doesn't chase the chickens.
yes.
Where did I meet? Oh, I met this lady on the plane. We talked the whole way because I really want a baby fox.
Okay.
Okay.
But I want some. It's over here. We're gonna.
Wait, Mara's got some info.
I'd like to share some
We've
information.
got valuable stuff here.
Well, there's also a case in Chile of a Chilean boy who was found in a savage state at age 12, raised by pumas.
Whoa.
Yeah. And
I
I
have the
also have
same
an
kind of thing.
article here about 6 cases of children being raised by animals. And the first picture is of a monkey.
That guy probably is like parkour expert.
It seems like there's a lot in South America, a lot of children
Maybe a
raised
little
by animals. in South
avocado
America.
oil.
There's a lot of jungles there.
Yeah, Colombian jungle, raised by monkeys.
They have the howler monkeys there in South America. The howler, the
Ooh.
red howler.
In Russia, there's a toddler who was locked in a room with goats.
Well,
Hard to
that's
say if he's
forced.
really raised by goats
Yeah.
here. But they did have difficulty reacclimating the toddler to human life.
You know what? One of the biggest problems they had
We're
This-
gone now. We're
no,
gone.
it's- no. They
It's
said
gone out of control.
to get the child
Back to
to
human.
eat cooked food.
They die
They
when you bring them back into human habitation.
they don't want to be. They want to live. Once they get a taste for just eating nothing but raw food, you can't. They won't. Why would they
Wow,
want to cook
flesh.
their food? It's so backwards to them. They want to eat fresh plants and fresh fruit and fresh, leaves. And then you say, "Oh no, you want to make some sabji and some rice?"
Not
You're like,
interested.
no, not interested.
And then they claw you.
They claw you and climb a tree. Okay, let's try to finish this.
I think we're done.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
What's
I never got to share my story about New Vrindavan and the
Oh,
animal.
what
that
happened?
I-
You
I'm
met
not gonna
a
tell
you met a feral
No,
child
no,
at New
no.
Vrindavan?
I've been a
Feral devotee boy.
You don't even want to know, and that's
I
clear.
do. I do.
No, it's so great. I'm letting it go.
Where are we? Where are we at? Mara,
We're done.
you got some takeaways? You got something? You got some magic for us? What are we doing the rest of the day, people?
Oh yeah, bike.
Oh,
ride.
there's
Perfect day for
bike.
the bike ride.
It's a great day for a
little
bike ride.
shady,
Not too
little-
hot, a little
little
shady.
cloudy is good.
It's a sunset bike tour of the Tuscan Hills.
Oh, sometimes when it's cloudy, the sun just sets right through the clouds, and you get like a perfect.
We were like, "Hey, Tarek, who's organizing?" We were like, "Is it going to be electric bikes or scooters?" He goes,
It's all gonna be.
"Neither. Pedal bikes."
It's gonna be downhill.
It's like, okay, at least it's downhill. We're getting so lazy. Huh? We don't like up a hill. Oh my
Well, on a hot day in
God.
Tuscany, it's very hilly. It could be.
Yeah,
It could be.
it's very
gorgeous.
hilly.
We should also mention that there's no show tomorrow because we're going to Cinque Terre. And on Saturday and Sunday, the show will still be at this time, 6 a.m. Eastern time.
On Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, with
Ooh,
His
We're gonna
Holiness.
see who's serious.
Oh, it's this Holiness Sachinandana
Oh,
Swami.
next show we'll have Maharaja.
Yeah, this is great.
That's the plan.
Will that be a Q&A? What are we gonna do? Send questions in anyway.
Send questions in. We'll have Maharaj answer the question. So it's great. Sachinandana Swami from Germany, whom we love, and has been on the podcast before. He will be with us. He comes every year now in our Italian retreats for a weekend, and we're excited to have him. Miss Mara, please give us some takeaways.
Oh, yeah, I got to get rid of my children raised by feral children raised by animals.
What an interesting topic, though, huh?
Fascinating.
Right. Krishna is the unconditional love we're searching for.
They're
That's Krishna.
they're homeschooled, I guess.
We're moving on, Raghunath.
We're on takeaways. Okay.
Ultimately, the material world will let us down.
That's sad, but it's good because there's something higher. There's something better, right, Raghunath?
I'm trying to think if the children
Yeah.
are more fulfilled living that natural life, or if they.
According to
do
our
you think they're
doctor,
missing out on
human
something?
birth is a better opportunity.
No, I'm just saying. Well, I get that.
Doesn't mean that they want it, but it's a higher opportunity.
Okay.
Once they're raised,
We know it's a higher opportunity, but I'm just saying,
once they're
compared
raised
to a
by the
kid
wolves, that's what they
going
want.
to public school in America, would they much rather be
Yeah, they'd rather be a
drinking
wolf.
out of a creek on their all fours?
I'm telling you, yes. Trust me on that one.
Krishna is the most attentive friend.
Oh.
Make Krishna your way of life.
Well, he's gone. He's just
He's gone.
he's gone.
Areas of feral children.
Yeah. Sacrifice means understanding we are not the center.
Ooh. Okay, like that.
We are individual eternal sparks of the divine.
So we are.
Yeah.
With personalities eternally.
Where there's creation, there's an intelligent source behind it.
It's inferred by wise people.
Krishna's not our stepping stone.
Did you ever have the Sid Sings records?
Sid sings.
Sid Vicious live record?
Oh, record live in
And he
Max's
did
or
I'm not
something.
who did I'm Not Your Stepping Stone
The
originally?
Monkees.
The Monkees?
Speaking of monkeys.
Speaking of feral
right back.
children and monkeys.
Yeah, we're right back with the monkeys.
And you get the essence of a person by sniffing around their closet.
Maybe you were raised
You know what?
short time by dogs or something.
You know, when my father died, I missed him. And before they cleaned out all his stuff, I'd go in his closet and smell.
Now we're getting.
See? It was very, and that, it was like my father. It was a scent, clothes, essence. That's where I was going with all that. So laugh if you like.
It's okay. It's okay.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks to everybody here live. We got a crew live. Let them all see. Everybody give a big hello. Spin this around, Mara. Look at this beautiful live group, and look at this beautiful room we're in. Thanks for all the people on Zoom watching. If you want to join us on Zoom, email Mara, wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com. Check out our new website, wisdomofthesages.com. It's got everything there. This is a community-supported podcast. If you like what we're doing, please make a monthly contribution. It's greatly appreciated. Otherwise, the podcast is free. But welcome to our community, everybody. We got a great group of people. And it wasn't planned. It just developed, and we're super excited about it. It's a beautiful day for a beautiful day. Let the magic continue to flow, and a big ciao and haribo!